Hi, Jonathan York from Bay Financial Partners, looking at the investment markets. You've still got the ongoing issues with the US, most notably, obviously, the trade talks with China. It's now come out that President Trump is now saying that potentially he might not stick to that sort of March deadline, which has given the markets a little bit of a fill-up, because certainly the talk coming out was that there wasn't going to be a deal sorted out before March. But more importantly, the president wasn't looking at meeting with President Xi before that March deadline. That put a little bit of sort of damper on the sort of proceedings, and certainly the US market fell pretty hard towards the end of last week. Now, most people expect that some sort of deal will be done. It's just a question of both sides sort of coming to a position where they can sort of both claim sort of victory, if you like, without appearing to have given in to each other. Another big talk is obviously the potential shutdown again of the US government. That potentially looks like, again, it's been sort of sidestepped, but again, it's potentially just sort of kicking the can down the road. And obviously the big issue is this sort of border with Mexico. And it's just going to be very interesting to see how that sort of proceeds, because the Democrats are adamant that he's not going to get the $5 billion to build that wall. President Trump is still claiming it's needed, it's a national emergency, etc. But again, the facts don't seem to sort of stack up. The latest evidence was at a rally in El Paso, where the president claimed that that was now one of the safest cities in the US, just because of the wall. But evidence suggests that it was pretty safe before the wall was put up as well. Fundamentals on the US economy, it is still pretty strong. You've got strong unemployment numbers. You've got a pretty robust economy, but also as well with a backup in sort of share prices over the sort of November, December last year. The recent earnings reports have come out pretty favorably. That added with the fact that the Fed have now sort of come out and said potentially, they are on pause now, certainly to around sort of June time. That's given the market a nice little sort of push to the upside. On the back of that, oil has sort of improved a little bit as well. Interesting to see that in January, OPEC production was down around 800,000 barrels. That sort of pushed prices up a little bit, and it's just short of sort of $54 a barrel now. Brexit's still rumbling away. At present, it seems that Prime Minister May is the only one out there trying to sort of put any sort of proposals on the table, if you like, and trying to get a deal done. The opposition is just coming up with criticism all the time, and just sort of accusing her of sort of time delaying and sort of pushing towards a hard Brexit. Now, certainly Prime Minister May has sort of come out all along and said that she doesn't want a hard Brexit. That will be pretty damaging for the UK economy. And potentially some of the cynics are saying that the reason why she's delaying it is just to try and sort of scaremonger people into accepting her deal at the last minute. Certainly most analysts and economists, agree that the UK does need a deal before it leaves Brexit on March the 29th. And that is not that far away now. Here in New Zealand, obviously the recent hot weather has, sort of pushed farmers into sort of drought territory, and that, potentially could be a little bit damaging. Just going to be interesting to see how it does play through in the next sort of couple of weeks to see if we do get any sort of meaningful rain. Because obviously, potentially there has some pretty major implications, obviously, for milk supply and dairy supplies going forward. Elsewhere, obviously, people looking for income, certainly on the fixed income side, bonds are a little bit sort of lean, if you like, on the returns. Latest Trustpower bond, 10 years, looking at 3.95. Now, if you are interested in that, call us on 0800 867 323. But elsewhere, there are plenty of options out there if you are looking for income. And if you're interested in discussing what is available, say call us on 0800 867 323 or go to the website www.bayfinancialpartners.co.nz for lots of interesting articles, and we'll look forward to speaking to you soon.